Hello, my name is Myra Tainsley, and I am recording this on July the 5th, 2015. And I am a proud single mom of a 22-year-old with autism. His name is Marquise. He is currently being government abused and neglected and exploited, and also by a scummy, lying, unfit, corrupt, evil, sick, incompetent attorney that is also exploiting him for his SSI money, federal funds, and allowing him to be abused and neglected. Right now, he continues to be abused and neglected by the system. He spent almost 2.5 years at a state facility where he was abused and neglected and exploited for his SSI and Medicaid. He was moved back out into the community March of this year, 2015. Now, I want to say that just because my son is going through this doesn't mean he deserves it. He's autistic. He's a well-mannered, intelligent young man. He's just a sweetheart. So just because people are treated cruelly doesn't mean that they deserve it. When you think about Jesus, I am a Christian. He was treated like a criminal, even though the Bible says he was without sin, but he still was numbered with the transgressors. Same way with me. I haven't done anything to these people except for be a mother that stands up for her son. I'm a registered nurse. I am a Christian. I am African American. My son is my joy in life, and I'm not intimidated by people of this world. And I haven't done anything but stood up and spoke out for the rights of my son. And I won't turn my head when people abuse and neglect him and exploit him because they don't know anything about autism. So for doing that, they took the guardianship away from me. That protects them, where they can block notification, legal authority, and that sort of thing. So he was moved out to the community, placed in, I think, some type of little rundown town home. And this was March of this year, March 2015. They won't tell me where he's located at. I haven't seen him since March the 15th, 2015, because Erin Sanford, she's of the John Matchburn Law Office here in Columbus, Ohio, and their office, they got all kind of awards that they make money off of. I worked at a nursing home that in the past that Mashburn was one of the was the guardian and stuff. So these people, these corrupt, scummy, filthy attorneys, they make money off of wards that they don't care about, have no emotional attachment to, and that they hardly even ever visit. I mean, it just, of all the professions, that's why I said this woman's just pure filth to me. She ain't no better than a criminal out on the street or a hooker out on the street. She just pure filth. And anybody that will use a profession to do that, you know, I have more respect for a criminal out on the street than I do these people. But anyway, he's back in the community, and they won't tell me where he's at. No address. They're afraid for me to see how bad it is. They definitely don't want me to go in there and see how terrible it is. And she tried to use a dirty trick to have me and my son visit at this paid supervised visiting agency, which is actually for custody cases, and you know, if you're abusing and neglecting your child or something. I said, well, this is not an abuse and neglect case. But I would have to pay extra money if I wanted to visit over an hour. They were supposed to write up each visit. You know, she was trying to use that dirty trick to build something up on me. And I said, you know, just because you can't stand me being the type of mother I am doesn't mean that you can try to make our family dysfunctional. We're a special needs family. My mom loves her son, and my son sure does love me, his mother. So it backfired. The Lord stopped it. It backfired on her. And the last time I seen him was March the 15th, 2015 at this place. And he was supposed to, she said it would be every Sunday, but they did not bring him up there March the 22nd, 2015. So March the 15th, 2015 is the last time I seen my son. Since I have seen him, since the last time I seen him, he's been injured with an infected finger. He's been placed on higher dosages of thorazine. He's on 900 milligrams of thorazine. And then they started him on lithium. He has gained a significant amount of weight. He told me he weighs 270. He's been choked by staff, lied by staff. I've been lied on too. These people are just pure human filth. Because anytime you treat a disabled person that cruel, and of course my rights has been stripped too, but especially my son, he's been stripped of all his rights. That's why I said I ain't caring about a 4th of July or anything else. That's not for me. Now, if you got a wonderful life and experience in this country, salute the flag and put your hand over your heart and say your pledge of allegiance. But that's not for me, and it sure hasn't been for my son. But he's been stripped of his constitutional rights, his civil rights, his human rights. But I've been stripped of the family thing because, like I said, I haven't seen him, and he talks to me on the phone every now and then. It's supposed to have been a schedule by them, but they don't adhere to it. And him talking to me on the phone is not a substitute for him being able to have companionship and spending time with his mother. I didn't even get to take his birthday presents over there. I didn't even get to talk to my son on his birthday. And this is the first year I had never ever spent his birthday with him. But I bought presents and I wasn't even able to give them to him, you know, because I don't even know where he is. But that's to protect themselves, you know. But people, you know, some of the people that don't deserve it can be treated so cruelly. And me and my son, especially my son, we're one of those people. So, but we're dealing with pure evil filth. And today and another thing, I talked about, you know, how he's been abused and neglected when he was at the state facility. You can go and see what I'm talking about. It's not all the evidence I have. I am an evidence girl, but I do have 2 pages. The first one, they're on Facebook. The first one is titled "Abuse and Neglect of Autistic Marquise Tanksley by the Government." And it shows some of what I'm talking about especially when he was at the state facility. But it's also talking about the other things that he has suffered. And I haven't finished the list. Since the last time I seen him on March the 15th, 2015, I haven't finished all the other stuff that has happened to him. Then the second page, but I didn't want to forget, so I figured I'd go ahead and mention it now. The second page is called Justice for Autistic Marquise Tanksley. Both of them on Facebook. It shows the dirty processes, how these people abuse court documents and abuse the little power that they have. But I must say that God will fight Christians' battles. I'm looking forward to how he's going to deal with these people like he has dealt with a couple already. So I know that I'm not to seek revenge, but just to hand it over to God and do my activity and role as far as he's concerned as exposing them, because they have had all kind of restrictions and I still find out what's going on. They really don't want my son talking to me, and they have intimidated him and told him not to tell me where he's at. They won't tell him the address. They sit up and would listen to what he's saying to me. You know, we don't want him telling his mom where he lived, her coming over here and taking pictures and all that. So that's what that's all about. But when God wants you to know things, you'll still know things. So since I last seen him 16 weeks ago, over 3 months ago, he has been to ER for an infected finger that had been injured. He's been to urgent care, and right now, he just told me about that a few days ago. His left lower leg and left ankle is swollen and in a brace. And I think it's a medication. But when he said brace, I'm going like, oh, did he injure it, or, you know, fall on the steps, or? But it's still it's still swollen and it's still in a brace. He's been choked by staff. He's been lied by staff. He's been exploited. As far as on Memorial Day, while he was upstairs, they were barbecuing, using his yard, watching his TV. He's only got one piece of furniture in his so-called bedroom. He only has a bed in his bedroom. He's been lied on. He has been placed on lithium, and the Thorazine that he's on has been increased up to 900 milligrams a day, and he was placed on lithium. That's a new drug, and I think that's why he's gained so much weight. He cries to me and tells me how afraid he is and scared when he hears all the rowdiness in the neighborhood, because they got him in some kind of like town home yard or what, and it's run down. You could tell the neighborhood is run down and stuff. He says it's very noisy. He hears people fighting. He's scared when he hears music banging on the door. And I said, it's just cruel that he has to live his life this way, you know. And I know God is using him, because the Lord told me, he said he ain't going through that stuff because I think he deserves it or I'm trying to punish him. He said it'll be a testimony. And he said, you too. He said, because ain't neither one of y'all done nothing to those people for them to treat him like that. He said, but I'm going to spank the booties, and you'll know I'll deal with people like I did with David Belinky, attorney that the Lord put his light out, meaning he's in the grave right now because of all his evil and arrogance. And it was offending God. And that's why I said these people better realize, especially when it's a Christian, that when you do these things, you offend God. And he'll deal with you in this life. He's a just God. And I'm going to be like David. I'm looking forward to seeing my desire up on the enemies that me and Marquise has. But he's going to put this stuff down. But God has his own appointed time. But my son has suffered so much. And it continues to this day. And, you know, they wouldn't let him spend Easter Sunday with me or his birthday. And like I said, now they do that because people go like, why? I said, well, just because somebody take your guardianship away don't mean that you done anything wrong. You could be the best parent in the world, and they'll take it away from you, especially if you're going to speak out and expose them. And I've been doing that. That's why I got those 2 pages on Facebook. I said sometimes some of the most wonderful people are treated like so cruelly and stuff. And my son ain't no criminal. He ain't no thug. He ain't no, you know, he's autistic. He can't help his behaviors if you set him off and trigger him. And they treat him worse than an inmate. They treat him worse than a criminal out on the street. And he ain't done nothing. He's innocent. And God will avenge that. Vengeance is mine, I will repay. So, you know, he's heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, but we rely on Jesus for our strength, our peace, our comfort. We rely on him for the deliverance, because I know God will straighten this thing out, and me and my son will have a story to tell. I'm telling it now. But my son is a Christian. He doesn't have that spiritual maturity all the way there, but he knows about Jesus. And because they just make him think, he used to ask me like, what did I do? You know, to be over here being tied down in the bed and beaten and abused and everything. Nothing. But God will turn that around for our good, and then we can witness and tell the story. It's a testimony because God is controlling this ship. But, you know, I'll be so glad when we get this human filth out of our lives. And that's Attorney Aaron Sanford. That's these state government authorities. I'm very disappointed in the federal government because people say, write this person, write that person. DOJ has just turned their head. Obama has turned his head. The White House. Just everybody has denied abuse and neglect and exploitation of my son. But God hasn't. He's in this thing, and he's going to use this thing. And, you know, I'm going to do the role because he has made sure I found out things. Because when he was at the state facility, they wouldn't let him talk to me on the phone. So afraid of what he would spill the beans and tell me what was happening to him every day. But he would tell me on Sunday. But they got him intimidated, because there's times he'll say, I don't remember. And I know he does. He's afraid. And he does that now with that home DD staff. And that agency is called Consumer Support Services. And, of course, they got a lot of Native Africans. I'm going like, how in the world? Why in the world would you hire people that can't even speak clear English? I don't care if they understand it or not. You know, if they can't speak, I can't even understand. But this tape is about what my son told me today on July the 5th, 2015. He called me, and he still has the swelling in his left lower leg and his left ankle. And I said, you know, you're still wearing a brace? He said, yeah. But the first thing he told me, I said, how you doing? And I'll play that tape for you. He said, I'm not doing too good. And he told me that a black lady, and he said she was a adult, because I was saying, was she a young adult or older adult? Sometimes that might be too much for him, but he said she's an adult. And I asked for a name, and he couldn't tell me. He said a black lady and a black guy named Daryl came over and threatened to do him bodily harm. They said they were going to hurt him and fuck him up, and said the lady was telling him to shut up. And, you know, my heart just dropped. I said, how cruel. And now he's got 24/7 home DD staff, developmental disability home staff, staffed by Consumer Support Services. And I was just, and of course I was trying to ask my son, and then I said, oh, I wish I knew the address, because he told me the street, but I'm not too sure it's the right street and stuff. But I said, if I had the address, I would come over there. Then I'd just send the police over there. But then I'm going like, I can't send the police over there because I don't know the address, you know. And then some of them are so ignorant when they say, oh, well, you ain't guardian. No, I don't have to be the guardian. I'm reporting potential violence. But I couldn't do none of those things. And and I had to keep it together for my son. But my heart just broke. And then he started crying and saying it scared him. But you'll hear it, because I'm an evidence girl. I don't have to put words in my son's mouth. I'm not making up anything. But so the boy came over there. I said, is it staff? He said, no, it's residents, which is like, you know, residents in the other townhome buildings or whatever. And he said, the boy named Daryl came over there. I said, are they black and white? He said, they're black. And he said, the boy came over there yesterday and today threatening him. Now, here he is, autistic. I mean, he shouldn't have to live like that. And then he said, the black lady came over last night, was telling me, shut up. And he said they were about ready to hit him. He's about ready to hit them. He had to take his shirt off. And I said, you know, and I bet now he's autistic. And that's why I said this country, it go down to the pits of hell. And I'll tell Obama that. And I admire Obama. And I really admire Michelle Obama. But I'll tell him, talk to the hand. Because ain't nobody should have to live like that. And I know my son ain't the only one. But his has been so long. It's just ongoing. And I said, you do that to the least, a vulnerable, disabled person, and just allow him to be forced to live like that, to take all that nasty medication, and he's forced to have to be around people that abuse him, neglect him, and choke him, because he was choked by a home DD staff member named, I think he said his name was Matt, and I got that on tape too. So that's why I do it. You know, I make sure that I can prove what I say. I just doesn't sit up here and make up sick things on these sick, evil people. But I'm looking forward to me and Marquise going on with our lives, him coming back home, because Jesus will have to do it. You know, he'll have to do it. He'll have to show, like he has done in other situations. When you're a Christian, we ain't in this thing by ourselves. And I told Sanford that. I said, I know you are unfit, you're incompetent, you're filth, but if you don't have any other understanding, understand this. You are dealing with a Christian woman and her Christian son. We ain't in this thing by ourselves. The Lord gonna deal with you in this life. And that's why sometimes he'll use a Christian. We might have to do our suffering and have some pain and stuff, but we know we're going to the other side of that storm. We're getting to the other side, because Jesus is the captain of the boat. We're not going to go down. And more importantly, he's on our side. That's what I told her. I said, he's on our side. And he's going to deal with you with the way you have treated my son. And it won't be just you, it'll be other people. And me too. Because no mother wants to have to, like that one guy put on my Facebook page, he made a comment, he said, no mother should have to deal with what you have dealt, you know, knowing how your son's, you'd have seen your son suffer, because I actually seen him hit in the chest by a state of Ohio employee at that state facility. And that audio tape is on YouTube, and it's on both pages. But he said no mother should have to live through the pain of knowing your son being treated like that. But people ask me, you know, they think, why ain't I pulling my hair out? I'm a Christian. I know God's got it. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have a big chest eye grin on my face. When I didn't jump up and down when he put David Belinke's light out, but I ain't mourning it either. But I'd like to see how God show himself strong and proud in our lives. So I'm gonna have a very nice, wonderful grin on my face when I see him not only bring Marquise back home, there'll be some praises that day, but to see how he shuts down and spikes booties in this situation. I said, 'cause that's a front to God. I said, now just because, and people have a problem with that. I said, just because y'all might hate people because of their skin color or whatever and stuff, doesn't mean God does. And when you're a Christian, he promises to come in your life and he will be there every step of the way. So, without further ado, I'm going to let you hear my son tell me about what went on yesterday and today with these people. And you know, I was probing and asked, I said, where was staff at? You know, I said, and then the number that he called, he usually calls me on, you can't call back, but this number was not unknown, so I called back because the phone accidentally hung up. I called back the second time, and then I heard the staff telling me to get off the phone, and I said, you put that staff on the phone. The staff said no, because they didn't like what he was telling me, you know, spilling all the beans. So the staff just hung up the phone. So I called back, since I was able to call that number back, and I gave him an earful. I said, you better hope nothing happens to my son. But they need to really praise Jesus for that, because Jesus has a plan for my son's life and my life, and he's been protecting my son, because my son could be dead by now, especially when he ran out of the state facility. He ran down the street at this place that they're having. And like I said, I last seen him March the 15th, 2015, but since then, you know, his health has deteriorated. He's been exploited. He's been lied on. He's been abused. He's been assaulted, choked. He had to go to urgent care. His leg is still swollen, and his ankle, his left leg and ankle, his finger got injured, and he had to go and to ER because the injured finger became infected. He's called me one time, said he'd been throwing up and not only having nausea, but he was actually throwing up. Now this has happened in the 16 weeks since I last seen him. He has just suffered cruelly, and he's just been through hell. And it's still going on. But I know God is in this thing. But that's why I told them, and you know, they don't want me talking to the staff, telling me anything. But as a mother, I called back and told him, I said, you better hope my son does not get hurt by them people. Because he said the boy came back again today and said that he was going to fuck him up and all that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know if it's another DD or bipolar, or you're probably psych, you know. And autism is not psych. You know, that's why you never want to house autistic people with psychiatric people, people that have schizophrenia or bipolar and stuff. So, you know, and my son starts crying towards the end about it. I'm scared and all this kind of stuff. You know, your heart just breaks. I said, but ain't no life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and independence for him. I said, the boy can't even live his life the way he wants to live his life without, and he has a right And I said, you know, like Pastor said, uh, America has become the new Sodom and Gomorrah. Now you're going to fight for marriage rights for people that God never intended it to be for. He made it for a real man and a real woman. But you're going to fight for their rights. And then allow my son's basic human rights, which are God-given rights, stripped from him. The civil and constitutional human rights that my son is entitled to as a God-given rights have been stripped. I said, he can't even live the life. He has no happiness. You know, they try to break up our family. He can't spend time with his mother or do the hobbies and things. I'm sick of this country. It's just pure filth. And so, you know, I ain't going to burn the flag, but anybody, you can take your 4th of July and your American flag and just send it down to the pits of hell. But I said, this has been one evil, sick, filthy, racially sick country. That's the way I feel about it. So he told me that, you know, I prayed and encouraged him, and you know, I just got to find out where he is. And, you know, because I would have sent the police over there. That's what I would have done. But I started still calling him. Then I said, well, yeah, he probably said, lady, look, you know, we don't even, you got to give us an address and stuff. So I didn't even go there and stuff. But anyway, without further ado, here's my son on July the 2nd. I mean, July the 5th, 2015, telling me about being threatened with bodily harm from 2 people. So here you go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm not doing all right. Last night, that black lady, well, the black lady last night, told me, he said, you shut up. I said, I told her to go. I was like to her, tell her to go away. I said, and she said, you shut up. I said, why you call me shut up? She told me shut up. And I didn't like it. I was saying,
Is she staff?
no, she's a resident, not staff.
Oh, she's a neighbor?
I don't like nobody to treat me like it. She told me to shut up last night.
So does she live close to where you are?
Yeah. But not in the same house.
Not in the same house, but in the same building?
Same building. I mean, not same building, different building.
Different building? In the townhome, apartment buildings, like?
Yes, and that boy Daryl, when Daryl came, I said, get out of here, and he said, no. He said, no, shut up to me, and tell me to shut up, and I told him to shut up too. And I got scared.
Where was staff at? Was staff trying to help you, or they didn't help?
A little bit, but I don't like Daryl treat me like that. He said he's going to fuck me up, and
Is he staff too?
no.
Daryl.
No, he's not staff.
They're neighbors, and they're saying they're gonna. So are they black or white?
Black. They are black, but he had behavior today.
And he's a neighbor. He lives somewhere in that building too.
Separate.
Separate. What can you tell me the address so mommy can come by there and see this place? Did you get the address for mommy? You told me the street name.
The address?
Yeah, I need for you to tell me the address if you can get it, like the number on the building.
Hold on, I'll tell them. I'll be right back. I'll come back to y'all. I'll tell them the number, the address.
Don't ask staff. Just go out there and look yourself. And
So there you have it. He got off the phone and
Hey,
48A.
he got off the phone for probably about 2 or 3 minutes. Staff wouldn't tell him. They don't want him to tell me where he's at or tell him anything, because it just shows, you know, their negligence and abuse and everything. So, you know, and then he got like, oh, I wish I could tell you, are you coming, and everything else. But let me get to the rest of this. After he got back to the phone, he wasn't able to tell me. He didn't know. The address, and I don't really know if he really knows the street number either. And I know they look at my page, but I hope the filthy humans in our life can hear this tape too. But I told him, I said, don't worry about the black mother and the African American minority black male with autism that you think you could abuse. You need to be watching out for God's vengeance, because God will repay. And you know, and if anybody don't believe me, they could just ask me to kind of recount the story of David Belinkie. But I'm going to go ahead. He came back to the phone.
Hello.
And
hi, James Rowe. Thank you for telling me. Mommy just wants to get the
yesterday.
Wants to get the address as soon as I.
And you can hear staff in the background laughing when he was trying to say, can you tell me the address? My mom wants the address.
On the building.
I'll wait for you, sweetie.
All right. Hey.
48A. Thank you. And it's on South James Road.
Now, he told me the street, but I'm not too sure if that's the right street.
Hold on. Don't tell him, right?
He can't.
Yeah, because they don't want you to. They don't want me to know where you are, because they don't want me to come by there and see what's going on. So staff is not going to tell you. So don't talk to them, because I need to come by there and see what's going on, because
So,
you the right way.
so you can hear him
You said the street is South James Road.
tell me the street, but he will not or cannot tell
I
me
know what South James
the
Road is.
house number of the townhouse.
What building it is. Do you know the name of the building?
What, the building?
Yeah, it's called something Townhomes. It is.
Townhome.
And what's the name of the townhome?
Name of the townhome. This is a townhome.
It's just called Townhome. And it's on South James Road. Thank you for telling me. Mommy just wants to get the address. As soon as I find out what the address is, I'll come by there and stuff, because what's going on. And thank you. So Daryl and that other black female, they're not staff, but they live in the other building.
So, and let me get towards the end where he starts crying.
Hi.
And he actually had told me.
And it has a black gate around it. He needs help. He's got people that have been threatening him, and that's my son. Sit down.
And then I always pray with Marquis, so there's prayer on here for protection, comfort, and peace, and deliverance.
Father, we don't have nobody else, but we are Christians. We believe in you.
So after this prayer is over, then it got towards the end, and then that's when I think he told me that that boy had came over yesterday and today, and a woman had came over, but they were threatening, you know, that they're going to hurt him and fuck him up, and they're coming over to his so-called residence. You know, they could do it so much better, the government and their filthy court-appointed attorney and Franklin County Board of DD. You know, I said, there's no way he should have to live in an unsafe, evil environment like that. You know, that's no life. That's worse than being in solitary confinement. It really is. It's just...
Then I'll be able to get over there and try to bring police with me.
But I pray with my son every time I talk to him, since we are Christians, and we know that we have to rely on Jesus. And we have given it to Jesus. So don't think we ain't coming out. And it'll be hopefully a blessing where we can help others with what we have lived through and suffered through.
I'm going to trust him, then I'll find out where he's going to do the rest, where he can let me know exactly the address.
Why are you going to give me my help back?
Jesus will help us and put the people in our lives that'll help us get you out of there. That I'll be also letting him know, the police and stuff, that, you know, you're getting threats from a couple of neighbors or residents or whoever they are, and we'll take it from there. But when we can't do it, you know who we can go to. We can go to God, right? And Jesus is God. We can go to him, we can pray, and he can make things happen. He's got all power and authority, and he'll kind of let me know, you know, like where you are, and put people to help us and everything. But I love you and I miss you, and I don't want you to be worried about anything. I'm with you, and you know that's who you call. You call your mom, and I would be over there or right in front of that door with the police. If I knew the exact address. And once I find it out, that's what I'm going to do. I haven't found it out yet, but I pray that Jesus will let me know what it is.
Find out the address?
Uh-huh. Because that'll tell me exactly where you're at, and then I can look for 48A townhome. But I don't know which building of townhomes it is in.
How you feeling now?
Well, you were feeling very upset here at Mom.
And staff was in there listening, so he was very intimidated to even tell me or even try to discuss the address. It's just awful to be. He's been just treated so cruel. And I think when I accidentally hung up because my ear hit the end call thing, and I called him back, that's when he told me that that boy was even over there today threatening. So I want you to hear that, and then look for it on the Facebook pages, and it'll be in the YouTube channel. And like I mentioned, I went ahead and had called back after they disconnected the phone to staff and left a message. Because they're supposed to be just using the phone where it says unknown, and I'm not allowed to call back. They don't want me to have no information on my son. Nope, they don't want me contact, because they don't want me to see and expose more evidence of abuse and neglect and exploitation.
Well, if I had the address, I would come over there.
So I think it's on the next, when I call back after the phone accidentally hung up, you can hear him telling me that that boy had came over today. So let me get to that tape. I want... Okay.
Hello?
Yes, it's me. The
Yeah,
phone
we
accidentally...
Huh? Say that again.
The phone accidentally hung up.
Yeah, what did we left off for?
Well, I wanted to see if, and was telling you about my plans, if I knew your address and stuff. And accident, I'm in the car. I'm still in the car, wondering, you know.
I can stand CAR car.
Well, you know, that's our car.
And then he was talking about the word card a little bit.
Well, let's ask for that piece right now.
And then he said everything was bothering. And then we
let him just feel your peace and understand that that's better than walking. So
I always go back to encouraging him and loving him. But I just want to let you hear the part where he starts crying and saying how scared he is.
Why?
But with his autism, there's like favorite words that he likes to hear, favorite numbers, favorite times. And then there's words like car and bathroom that he doesn't like to hear and stuff. And he doesn't really like music too. But that's part of the sensory, the autism. So we talked about the word car and our favorite streets and treats, try to get his mind off of it. But we got right back over to what had been happening to him with the bodily harm threats from these two people. And then that's when he started spilling the beans. And this phone call, the staff was there and they told him to get off the phone. And then I told him to tell them that we were talking about different things, and put the staff on the phone. The staff said no, and the next thing you know, they disconnected it. And my son loves things to be explained to him. And he tries his best to really have a good conversation with me. And he does pretty good, He's high functioning autistic, so. So let's see if...
Staff telling you to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Why
he told me to say goodbye.
Well, tell him you're talking to your mom about cars and stuff.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Or put him on the phone.
I'm talking about cars and stuff. I'm talking about my mom about cars and stuff.
But put him...
doing the whole day, man.
Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone.
Who, him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll put him on the phone. He said no.
Okay, tell him he needs to make sure.
So the staff told him to say goodbye, and then I said, well, tell him you talking to him on the, to your mom about the phone, the car. And then he said he was still telling him to get off the phone. Then I said, well, put him on the phone. And then he said no. But they used to do that a lot. They just interrupt our phone calls like family time ain't nothing. It's just...
Don't forget that.
I am sorry.
You ain't done anything. You are being mistreated over there. You don't deserve it, and Mommy needs to know where you are so I can bring help over there. I don't know.
I know I don't deserve. I heard a D or deserve.
And you handle it too, so good job. But Mommy sure wish she knew where you were so I could come over there. So that's what Mommy's going to be doing. And I love you very much. Don't worry about it. Jesus is going to protect you. He's with me, and I'm going to see what I can do as soon as I find the address of where you are. I love you.
I've been waiting.
Well, if I can get that address, that's the only thing I don't have.
I have God's peace about it.
You sure do. And I'm very, very proud of you for having your peace. I'm very proud of you as being a wonderful son. But I really, really want to make sure that I get to the right place over there.
I've been feeling.
Have you got anything to eat for dinner yet?
So at this point they had hung up, but
have you got anything to eat for dinner?
Because he never answered me, and I didn't know they had hung up. But he didn't hang up. The staff.
You still there?
The staff had hung up.
They must have hung up the phone.
So let me, because he did tell me that this boy had actually came over and threatened him today and yesterday, and that the black lady had just did it yesterday.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing, sweetie?
South James Road.
And what other street? What street is it nearby on South James Road? What corner?
But it probably was when I was asking him about the street and that sort of thing.
Because they don't want me to come over there and help you. And you know, not do that. So I can come over there and when you crying and it bothers you and if I'm
One says, told me to be quiet, and Daryl came over here crying.
right, that's because anytime that any of that happens, you always call Mommy, and Mommy will try to call the police and send them over there if people are trying to beat you up and stuff. So that boy, did he hit you, or he was getting ready to hit you? Him and that girl.
Almost hit him. He almost hit me. He almost hit me. Almost hit him. They almost hit me.
Both of them?
Almost hit Daryl.
Yeah, the boy and the girl. What's the girl's name? The boy's name is Daryl. What's the girl's name?
It was a black lady.
It was a black lady. Was she an older lady, or was she a teenager, or a dog? Older dog.
Older dog. No, not a dog, but
A younger dog?
that black lady. I don't know if she's fat or little. I can't remember what she looks like.
And what's her name?
Can't remember.
Okay. But did she come over to you and told you she's going to fuck you up?
No, almost.
Oh, you just heard her saying she was going to fuck you up, but the boy came over named Daryl, and he said, and he
Wait a minute now. I'll tell you something. Like, the black woman says, "Tell me to be quiet," and Daryl came over here trying. He's gonna. He said he's gonna hurt me and fuck me up.
And the staff. Now, who was? Do you know the name of the staff? Who was the two staff that was there? Because Mommy's writing all of this.
So, you know, I was trying to get more clarification, and, you know, it was upsetting him to try to remember, and then the staff is right there breathing down his throat like a hot breath dragon. So, and I know I could tell sometimes he's intimidated, especially when he starts talking about staff. He doesn't like to say their names when they're listening and stuff. It's just to live like that. It just boggles the mind. It really does. So,
Two males or a male and a female.
but you know, he was threatened, and the way he's living, it shouldn't be. Now that's what the government is paying out. This is what the federal government is paying out.
One staff with a male and female.
So it's going on Facebook and
Black or white.
um,
Well, thank you for telling me.
and other, you know, places too.
Yesterday evening or was it yesterday during the day or night?
Well, Daryl came over here and threatened me. That was today.
So Daryl did it yesterday and today,
Mhm.
and when did the lady do it?
Last night.
Last night.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably have to call and see if I can get some help to come over there and let them know that they're threatening you, and
Good help.
have the police or have.
So there you have it. Let you know I don't put words in his mouth. Of course, that's the first thing he said to me when he started talking to me at the beginning of the phone call. You know, he said he wasn't feeling too well, and then he went into this. So that's the way my son is living. It just keeps getting worse, you know. And they got him on lithium and thorazine, and these people probably are, you know, probably psych patients. You know, very violent. You know, not autistic, but you know, suffer from, you know, major mental illnesses, and you know. But we're staff. They just let these people come in to my son's so-called wonderful residence, the Aaron Sanford and Franklin County Board of DD and Consumer Support Services has made for my son, and let them just threaten him like that, where he's, you know, crying and scared and afraid, and you know, getting ready to fight with him and all the, you know, like I said, you know, this is just needs to be exposed, and I have a passion for that. I'm very passionate. I've made a whole lot of audio videos, but this one has really just made me the passion. You could just feel the irritation and frustration, but the passion. I said, ain't no way in the world I'm not going to let this stuff be known. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So here's the audio video with the proof and evidence of what Marquise has told me today. Please pray for him. We are Christians. Jesus is in this with us, and God's will be done in this. I am not, like I said, I'm not going to play the tape that or the message that I left when I called that number back after they disconnected it. But I just kind of told the staff, because I believe the staff phone number, their cell phone, they probably said, oops, you know, he's using our cell phone. And I left a message. I said, you better hope nothing happened to my son. That's all I got to tell you. I said, but you people are just human garbage, period. Every one of you. You're incompetent. And I said, that boy's got autism, and he ain't done nothing to nobody. And to treat him like that. And I said, y'all supposed to be over there supervising and protecting him, and you letting people come in his home and threaten him and cuss at him and get ready to fight him. You know, this country, and it's going, like I said, it'll be on Facebook, and I'm going to send it other places too. Whether people want to hear it or not, it's going to be plastered there. So that's what I plan to do. But just keep us in the prayers, and I appreciate all your prayers, love, and support. And I will keep you posted. But he's in God's and in Jesus's hands, and in his will, his destiny, and in his protection, and in his love. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a blessed day. Please keep me and Marquise in your prayers. Thank you for listening again. Bye.